how we watched Vikings, right?
Yeah. It's not.
We recording by the way, y'all. So, but hold on. This is what I meant to say. Remember how we watched Vikings and we kind of really dug. What was my man name again? Ragnar.
Ragnar.
And then they did the whole Viking spinoff. Is it kind of like that where
Vikings Valhalla?
The Valhalla, like is it like that where it's written by the same people? Okay,
no. The difference between I think in terms of Vikings and Vikings Valhalla is it still shares the same like lore. It's just a different time period. So it's like everything that happened is like it's pre Vikings Valhalla. So they still reference Ragnar and his sons and different things like that. So there's references there. This is different. This is not even in the same. I don't even think it's in the same thing. I think Peaky Blinders was England, right? Wasn't that in England, if I'm not mistaken?
I think so.
This one is in Ireland. I think this one is in Ireland. So House of Guinness, wherever Guinness was started, wherever it may not be in Ireland, Amsterdam. It may be that. Then it's Amsterdam. So that's
no, my bad. Not Amsterdam. You're right. It was
it is Ireland.
Isn't it?
It's Ireland because I think Amsterdam was Heineken. My bad.
Okay, so it's Ireland. So it's based in Ireland, and it goes through the family of Guinness, who started the Guinness whole thing, and the criminal element that existed that we weren't privy to. That kind of and that's that. I think that is a show. I started watching it the other day, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm with it. It's so if you are a fan of Peaky Blinders, then you might want to check something like that out. But I've loved it because Ant brought it up on the show today, and we didn't really get to tap into it because we talked about it the week before. But I would love to hear what elements he enjoyed about The Last Samurai Standing, because I was of the same. He said exactly what I said last week, which was the third episode. After I was sold when the third episode came on, and I was watching third, I was like, all right, lock me in, lock me up, let's go. And from there, it was straight gas all the way to the end. I was like, oh, yeah, I was like that. I was like, yeah, nigga, we doing this? Like, niggas is fighting on fire. Like you burning up, fighting, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Hopefully you finished. And I didn't just spoil some shit.
No, I got to. Well, I didn't. I saw up to the third episode. I said.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
No, that's okay. I mostly zoned out. It's okay. I'm sitting here. I was like, I'm prepared for these moments now, so I'm mostly zoned out.
Yeah. All right.
I was sitting here. I didn't tell you. I interviewed. I don't know if I told you. I interviewed like basically the three black women of One Battle After Another. So I got to speak with Regina King. I got to speak with Chase Infiniti, and I spoke with Teyana Taylor. And
I'm sorry.
And I remember, Vince, you told me you said you was going to see the movie, but I know
I saw it too. You
saw it?
Okay. Yes.
So like,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it
at all. Absolutely not.
What? I had hesitations of seeing it too. So what was the reason you didn't like it?
Well,
It's got
a lot of problems. It's got a lot of movie problems with
if black women specifically. Black women.
All right, go ahead. Do your intro, Vince. I feel you.
Okay, yeah, rarely. Well, I wasn't gonna do an intro. I just wanted to, because I know Ant was about to go into him interviewing these young ladies, and so I didn't know if before we, rip it down. You know what I'm saying? If Ant had anything.
Well, I would rip it down first, and then he could go ahead and
rip it down, because look, some of the stuff that you guys are talking about pertain to what I asked them, because I came into these interviews with these same exact concerns. So like, I could tell you straight up, I asked Regina King and Chase Infiniti, like I told them I don't, a lot of black people I know ain't really watching this. So like, what do you tell your friends and family or people who are curious what this movie is about to try to get them to come watch it? And they were like, oh, and you can see them, you can see their answers. It's on my it's in the video.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked it, because it like I watched it with an open lens, but I was thoroughly disgusted by what I saw, and especially in terms of Teyana Taylor's character. Taylor's character is supposed to be a revolutionary, who is basically wants to stop the oppression of the ICE, how ICE is basically doing what they're doing right now, which is rounding up people and everything like that. So they go to different ICE organizations and they free up the people that are in captive. And that's applaudable. The part that I hated was the fact that on the flip side of her being a revolutionary, she's an oversexed. She's used as like this oversexed Black woman who literally can't. She wants to fuck all the time. Like, oh, let's fuck, let's do it. And she and it's
the Jezebel trope.
Oh my God! And it's so it's to Teyana's. I don't even know how to say this. To Teyana's acting style in this, Teyana fully invests in that role. So the actions that precede that, you see her interactions with Leo DiCaprio, and her interactions with old ass fucking Sean Penn. And I was like, what the fuck? Yo, at one point, Kira, she literally takes and sucks this man's tongue. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Teyana, this nigga is like 50. I mean, 50
well, Eve liked it.
Oh man, yo. I found myself thoroughly disgusted in the way that her character was portrayed. They made her a snitch, like she was a snitch. Like, it was just so much negativity behind her character. And then when Sean Penn entered the conversation, and I was like, so what you have is a white man who's racist, but also is closeted. He's closeted like a closeted homosexual. If you ask me, he gets fucked with a gun. She fucks him with a gun in his ass. And so that they lean into the man. I didn't like it. There's a lot.
There was something about this movie that I'm like, she's in the commercial or the trailer for this just enough that makes me feel like these are the only spots where she actually bad bitch type of energy light. But there was something about that I was like, they're gonna fuck this up. There is absolutely no way they have this many Black women on screen, and it's going to be 100% positive. And there was something about it that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, being pregnant and shooting an automatic rifle is not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying that's not necessarily as badass as I want Teyana to be portrayed as. Just be in the movie and shoot the gun. Absolutely. Be the revolutionary. Do all of that. But there's something that makes it, there's a lack of care for the life that's going on inside of her while she's shooting that gun. I know the message is supposed to be, I can do this shit, pregnant or not. But with the connotation around the rest of it, it kind of diminished her strength for me. I'm like, what are y'all do? What is this supposed to actually say? It made my scalp itch a little bit, which also then made me think, well, bitch, what the fuck? What, she can do whatever the fuck it is that she wants to do. It was too back and forth with my emotions for me. It was too much. And then
Man,
Regina Hall wasn't in the trailer enough for me. The little girl is acting like she grown, but then mom isn't in the picture, it seems, and it's just Leo trying to raise her. It's a whole bunch. There was a lot that I was like, this ain't gonna hit for me. I get what they're trying to do or portray, maybe, but I feel like it was gonna flip on me. So I didn't go see it. I'm like, I'm not sold on this.
That's wild. That's
the
wild.
fact that it got a 10 out of 10 and a 98% on Rotten Tomato
Yeah.
is crazy to me. But then again, I remember also that Monster Ball got all of those, the same type of
Acclaim
and accreditations behind it, and it was the same. It's a similar role for me with the way that Halle played in Monster Ball opposite of what's the guy's name? Jimmy.
Billy Ray.
Billy Bob Thornton. Bob Thornton. And this is giving that same type of energy.
Yeah.
But it was just how oversexed she was. Like it was like they did from the first scene, they go and rescue these people from the ice camp, and then immediately the first thing she does is jump in the car with Leonardo DiCaprio. You like black girls? Yeah, and start kissing. I'm like, you just supposedly just met this dude, or I don't even know. Like, they don't give a backstory, but the story from that point is that they sex so much that she gets pregnant. There's every time they go, she gets turned on or aroused by saving the day or doing some revolutionary shit, which is weird.
Yeah,
it's like yo, she makes in the first scene, she makes Sean Penn. She's like, get up, and he's like ready to know. She's like, no, get it up. Like, what, you want the man to jerk off? Yes, that's exactly what she wants him to do.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
And they gave this a 10 out of 10? 98%?
Yeah.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Were they trying to go for what was the name with Woody Harrelson and
Natural Born Killers?
Was that what they were trying to do? Like a mix of that?
This movie is a little bit of a bunch of different stuff. It's no one movie.
Yeah.
I know I had conversations with other critics about this, and they swear up and down about this movie. And I keep trying to highlight the disconnect and how there's like a lack of a black audience for this movie. I don't think they did anything to really attract a black audience to this movie.
It doesn't speak. It doesn't speak to me as a black woman. This ain't it. This ain't the way.
I mean, they put in a little bit of effort. They said, look, here's Regina King. Look, here's Chase Infiniti.
Here's Wood Harris. Here's Wood Harris.
Here's Wood Harris.
Yeah, here's Wood Harris. You wouldn't even know Wood Harris was in this if you like. And again, they do that trope, that thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna have a multitude of black people in this film, but everybody's gonna have their own relationship with someone who's non-melanated. And I told you, I cannot. After I start seeing that when it's like visibly put into the movies, then I start getting turned off from it, because I'm like, so there was possibilities. So you have Wood Harris and Regina King in the same movie, but they couldn't have a relationship. They couldn't be together. You pick this woman right here to be opposite of Wood Harris. You pick this man and another man to be opposite of Teyana Taylor. It was visible, and these are the movies that always get the high ratings and the high, and they get awards, and everybody, the greatest. Nah, man. I was genuinely watching this like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck are you watching? I really got at like probably the 45-minute mark. I was like, this shit better, and it did. I was just like, all right, we're gonna do this. All right, cool.
Well, here we go.
So
Regina look already like she don't want to be there. Like, why?
Yeah, like she had a long day.
Yeah.
So you already know like what it is to get into these interviews now, right?
Yeah.
Like you're hyped up, but they done spoke to like 6 or 7 other people for 8 minutes and gave the same answers each and every interview. So here's what I tried to do.
I am Anthony with the movie blog. Very, very excited to speak with the both of you. I hope you guys are ready. I know you guys have been doing interviews all day. We're going to have a little bit of fun.
Yay!
So I got some questions for y'all. Some's going to be easy. Some's going to be harder. So this one, either of you can answer this one. Both ideally. When your friends or family who are not like film nerds text you, what is this movie actually about? What do you say to them after you've been living with it for a while to get them excited?
You mean before they've seen it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know a lot of people who have seen it, but I know there's some people on the fence.
On the fence about seeing it, or on the fence about
about seeing it.
But you told them to go see it, right?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Regina is in it. Like, no, he's a supporter. Yes.
Thank you. You know what? It's a hard thing to say. I remember when people kept asking in the beginning what's about. I would say it's a father-daughter story with a lot of other stuff around it.
I would say that it's an action comedy, and but I also would say you can't really describe the film.
Yeah,
it's like a short amount of sentences.
Then I think of like an action comedy.
Yeah,
it's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I know I've lived with this movie for a while. Y'all have lived with it a lot longer than I have, right? I know the movie was written and shot before a lot of the wild political stuff we're sitting in right now. But it plays like it was made yesterday. Is there a specific scene that hits differently for you now than it did on the day that you guys shot it?
Well, I certainly know, for me, like the opening of the scene, you know what I mean? It hits differently what they're doing, the purpose of the French 75 when they're, in the mission. And then every time I hear the Christmas adventurers talk, it's different too.
I feel like it's, especially with the Christmas adventures for me, because I wasn't in any of the 75 scenes, and I mean, I also was not in any of the Christmas adventure scenes, to be fair.
No, me neither.
But
well, it'll be in those. They're not letting us in the Christmas adventure scenes.
But I think getting to like see those scenes, especially with that group of people,
are so tremendous. They're so
incredible
and funny,
but seeing that is it's absurd.
Yeah,
it's really absurd.
It is, and they're so good. And it's like you don't even, I think what Paul is genius at is you walk away with the reality, but you don't walk away with anger, right? You still have the joy of the ride of the movie, because it's not about that. That's just a part of the whole. And the irony, because Lockjaw wants to be a part of the Christmas adventures. The only thing he wants more than that is perfect. That's kind of ironic in and of itself. I'm like, all right, he's gonna be like, how does that go together?
Well, I
kind of want to pause right there, right? I want to pause right there because a couple of reasons. One, this is not my favorite interview. And I feel like that I kind of messed up at the beginning myself, just being super wordy. But I also feel like I asked them questions that weren't fair to put them in the spotlight to answer. I asked them questions about like, hey, what do you tell? I tried to hit them with the hints. Like, I know a lot of people who ain't see this movie. What do you tell your friends and your family what this movie is about? They trying to get invited back to the table, right? Like they're on a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. They're in a movie with Sean Penn. They're in a movie with Benicio del Toro. They trying to be invited back to the table. And in hindsight, I asked them questions that wasn't really fair to ask them in the spotlight. So like, this is not one of my favorite interviews. I know that I can ask. I feel like that they're really relatable and they're ready to answer my questions, but this wasn't the space to do that.
It feels like you're pulling teeth.
Yeah,
It's like you like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I described in one of the interviews that I had. Like where you ask a question, thinking that you're gonna, I guess, you're asking the question to get somewhat of a response, and then because they're conscious of future relationships, they'll be like, and try to get, because I felt like she knew exactly what you were asking initially when you said it, because you were clear about how you said it, but then she was like, you mean when they seen it? Like
I don't think she did, honestly. I think that she was like a little confused. I think she was thrown off. If I had to guess, I would obviously not know, but if I had to guess, I would assume that she hasn't been receiving the same information that Ant's been receiving, and more than likely the last couple episode interviews before Ant were glowing, were very celebratory, very honoring and just kind of accommodating. And then the first thing Ant says is like, what you tell people who don't see this movie? And she's confused. And she's like, what do you mean who wouldn't see this movie? You would, I mean, you were already telling people to see the movie, right? That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yes. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Like this vibe, this isn't the same energy that I got in the last 10, 15 interviews I've done that were glowing. This is a little bit more interrogational.
So I agree with that. I agree with that 100%, because what I noticed was when I spoke to Teyana and I started asking her different questions, like, just as intense questions, she started opening up. She was like, oh, I've heard it. And I'm ready to address that head on. And that's what I love about Teyana. She gave me an answer. Like she dove into it.
You get from a New Yorker. That's what you get from a New Yorker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it straight raw. Straight raw to the core.
Do you feel like, I feel like Teyana is very much, I do not give a fuck about nobody's goddamn feelings out here. I'm gonna be all right whether y'all put me in your next movie or not. Where Regina, I feel like she's trying to climb out of that typecast situation.
Yes.
So Teyana's, the door for anything is wide open for Teyana. For Regina, she, in my opinion, you could put her in anything right now. Today, science fiction, action, comedy, drama. She will eat that shit the fuck down. Regina can do that too. Regina has a longer history that she's got to kind of climb up out of. Do you feel like, I think for me, that's what made the interview different. Teyana's kind of free to do whatever the fuck that she wants. Where Regina, she's in the game and she knows certain people.
Let me tell you this. Know her. Teyana took her interview from her car. Like she's not coming to the. She did this shit on her way to somewhere else. I'm like
okay.
Now you know what you're saying. But that's literally the freedom to do that. I have never seen nobody do no shit like that.
Yo, it made the interview remarkable. Like she threw me off when she did it. Like I'm like, first off, it's like 3 PM on the East Coast. She's in the video. It's nighttime. Like it's nighttime. It's dark. I'm like, what the fuck are you?
I know look, she in Dubai. She in Dubai chilling. Yeah. She in Dubai chilling and shit.
Don't forget her man's in that new Star Wars piece.
He's in
England.
He's filming Star Wars. You're right about that. He's up in there. Aaron Pierre. Mufasa.
Yeah.
He's in Star Wars.
Bro, why do you think I'm over here just like, when I saw that, I was like, I know acting, but if my lady is sucking away this man's tongue like that, bro, like,
I don't mind. All right, well, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say nothing yet, but
you haven't? I thought you saw it. I thought you
You
was
saw
one
One
of those
Battle.
people.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh,
You didn't see One Battle?
Wow, I thought he. Yeah,
I meant to see it, but I ain't see
Yeah,
it.
you-
Cause
yeah, that's
let me
why
tell
I
all right,
said-
you want to know the story? Do you want to know the story?
Like the
You
day
told
of,
us.
you was
We
like,
know
we
the
were
story.
leaving right now to
Yeah,
go see One
yeah,
Battle
that's-
after
All
the
right,
other.
all right,
That's
I'll
what
tell you the
you
story.
said.
You want to know the story? I'll
What
give it to you blood raw. It's not
What
pretty. All right,
What
me and my other half are supposed to go see it,
Yeah, we know.
right? And you know, shit, we start squabbling,
Oh,
and we didn't go. And then now when I want to see it, she ain't gonna let me see it without her, but she ain't want to
It's on
go.
demand.
it's
It's on
Prime.
demand. It's
You
on.
can
So
watch
I
it
just
now
gotta,
on Prime.
I gotta watch it. I have to watch it with her. It's one of them things where it's
Yeah.
like, so that's the
So
only
you
that's
got
the
a
only
date
reason I
night
ain't seen it
tonight.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch the
I
whole-
mean, I'm down to do it. I'll even rent it. I don't care.
Order
I'm
something,
gonna still
yeah.
watch it.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's the only
Because
reason
there
I
you
ain't
go.
see it that day. And we ain't seen it yet. But I wanted to pull up on it, but I was like, I was wrong.
All right.
There is
Yeah.
a specific part in that movie, and I don't know. I won't even. But there's a specific part in that movie that one should not miss. I'll say that. There's that part, that one part where you're like, oh my God.
Okay.
Me and my
Yeah.
wife at the same time. We said it at the same time. At the same time, we was like, oh,
All right. Well, we
oh
going
my, oh
Yeah.
my.
all right.
Oh.
You should decide.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me see it. I
It
want to
was
see
like
what she
we
said.
started cursing out Iman Shumpert. We was like, nigga, you, oh my
Oop.
God, you an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an
You
idiot.
messed up. Fumbled.
Yo, Aaron Pierre, I'm like, nigga, don't fumble that bad.
Got the rebound.
Oh.
That bad.
Man, I don't.
I promise you that moment
So-
will resonate when you see it. You'll be like, oh, that's
Okay.
just the part he was talking about.
So yeah, I spoke to Teyana. She was in her car. I haven't even shown this one yet. So this is the debut. But I asked her about her character's arc in the story. So if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to see what happens. She's going to talk about what happens with her character in the movie. So spoiler alert.
Okay.
Got it. I'm set to start.
Yep, good to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Teyana.
Anthony.
Thank you. I know you're busy. I see you're busy. I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible.
I'm trying to find some light. So, okay. All
Oh,
right.
There we go. Yeah, let me see that beautiful face. Let me get my thumbnail image I need. Come on now.
It's the thumbnail.
But yeah, I'm gonna be as brief as possible. I had a couple questions about this wonderful movie. Loved your character in it. I'm sure you get that a lot. I learned your character's name, Perfidia, literally means betrayal. Did you know that?
Long story. Yes, it does. But ain't the name so good? Like I just wish that it didn't mean that. Because Perfidia Beverly Hills is just, it's too good. It's too good. We have to put a new definition to that name. We have to put a new definition to that name.
We could work on that, but I kind of want to dig into that a little bit. Because we actually do see Perfidia like betray her people, right? She betrays her partner. She even betrays her own child. Why do you think she makes those choices? You know, what's the emotional logic behind this woman? I mean, a Black woman who keeps choosing herself, even though it costs everybody everything.
I mean, to me, let's take the literal part out of it. What you just said is exactly what I feel like Perfidia is in hindsight. I'm gonna choose myself over and over and over again because nobody else is choosing me. You get what I'm saying? We watch this Black woman be objectified. We watch her be, fetishized. We watched her be ignored during postpartum depression. What else do you think she was left to do? Did Perfidia get greedy? I absolutely think she did. You feel what I'm saying? I think she got power greedy, and it backfired on her. But I think that, a part that a lot of people are missing is the postpartum depression, which is a serious thing that is overlooked. And that's the reason why there is no real solution for it. There's no real help
for it. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, we don't agree with a lot of things that Perfidia did, but who are we to judge how a mother handles her postpartum depression? You get what I'm saying? Like, she didn't really start crashing out until she had the baby. You know what I'm saying? This woman is headstrong. She's 10 toes down on who she is. She's unapologetically herself. And then it's kind of like, she's pregnant. She's preparing for what comes with that. And you see, even during pregnancy, Bob is like, I wonder, does she even realize that she's pregnant? Like, the revolution never stopped for her. You get what I'm saying? And I think that once it was time to like slow it down and like sit down and play house, she wasn't really rolling. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice, before we even get into that, we hear the cry out louds. We hear that. And you see Bob up against that door. You also see him walk away. You didn't see him step in. You didn't see him step up. You didn't see him, like, hear me the first time. Hear my cries the first time. Hear my screams the first time. Then we have the baby, and it's all about the baby. So do I think that it had anything to do with her betraying her child? I think it was more so the people that could have prevented that. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's important for people to see a film more than once. I think the first time, you're still processing everything, and then a little part of people, as I always say, I was just telling somebody else, is like walking in and Perfidia is so badass, you almost expecting her to be a superhero. And I think that she was okay with not sitting up to the pressures of, you need to be a strong Black woman. I'm finna rip this cape up. Motherfuckers ain't showing up. Motherfuckers ain't present. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. I don't feel da-da-da-da. I'm all I got. I got to show up for myself no matter the cost. You get what I'm saying? And if you see in her layers, you kind of see the face she makes every time she look at that baby versus the moment them eyes look up at Bob and you see her whole color change. You get what I'm saying? That never had anything to do with the baby. But another part to think about is also, how do you think she feel knowing that that's potentially a product of lockjaw? You get what I'm saying here? Like, I had a gun to your face and you calling me sweet thing. The least protected, the least hurt, the least. They're not taking this woman serious. You know what I'm saying? So nobody is really taking the time to stop and think about Perfidia's point of view. And granted, like I said, we don't, and we still won't agree with a lot of the things that Perfidia does. But I think it would be cool. Well, I've noticed people who've seen it more than once understands Perfidia from another lens. And they don't know this side, the part that we're talking about right now. They don't understand, that side. I also think I'm passionate about Perfidia because, of course, me being in the movie, it was also a lot of scenes that didn't make it as well. So knowing what she stood for, knowing that, even when she had to do what she did to get up out of there, she made that phone call to Deandra and told her, like, go in and grab them babies, them little socks for me and get up out of there. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the parts people don't see. But I think even without those parts in there, it's important that people understand how serious postpartum is. It's ignored. It's ignored. And I know it's ignored because people are not even calling it out now. I mean, now it's being recognized because of the interviews and learning more about Perfidia's character. But I think people who really pass the vibe check kind of understand who Perfidia is.
Thank you. I needed that from you. I needed that from you after watching this movie. I really appreciate you giving me your time to explain that.
To take in. No, I think it's a lot to take. It's a lot to process. You get what I'm saying? And that's why it's one of the movies that will age. It age like wine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll age beautifully because you'll also keep catching little shit in there. Because, PTA, he trolling in there too. You know what I'm saying? So when you peep at All Hell Saint Nick and you see it like them being called the Christmas Adventures and you seeing this, it's just so many funny things in there that's like, you probably ain't even peeped the first time. But go and see it again and really see Perfidia's stance. One thing that we can all agree on is she's human and she's flawed. And she probably has the story of a lot of the women that we don't get to see. This shit's not highlighted on because every time we read something or we see a movie, it's just like we're made to be these superheroes and all we can do is be this way. But she's very flawed, you know what I'm saying? And she's very human. And I think that that's important. I'm telling you, postpartum depression is no joke. And, different mothers handle things differently. But I've heard of people and seen people do worse than what even Perfidia did. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, we may not agree with you walking up on your child, but who are we to judge how a mother handles postpartum depression with no help? Nobody even peeped the fact that she cried. Besides that letter at the end, we hear her saying, I don't feel seen, I feel ugly, I feel da-da-da. She won't latch on, she da-da-da-da. You put your ear to the door and walked away. And then the next scene, what we see? A woman feeling like she all she got. So go and watch it again, and you'll see the complexities. You'll see the different layers and different things that every single character has going on. I think Perfidia needed to fall. She anchors the movie. Like without Perfidia's fall, Perfidia's selfishness, Perfidia's ways, or her decisions, we wouldn't be able to see Willow rise. Wouldn't be able to continue on this story. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes people can't separate Teyana from Perfidia. So they're like, well, nah, fuck that shit. And it's like, bro, I'm just here to do a job, but we got to get that done to move on to the next parts of the movie. It's still art,
I'm with you on that. 110%. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
I appreciate you making time for me. Again, I know you're busy. You out. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much again. Anthony with the
and I
we're
appreciate
gonna meet again.
Yes, for sure. Let's do it. We got a lot more to talk about.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. A lot
of good points. Still in my feels about what I saw. Despite what she's saying, I mean, I understand where she's coming from and why her character needed to be played the way. I mean, she did make a fair point about the postpartum depression, which I also felt like when she was saying that, a little of her own self experiences kind of resonated in that conversation. Like she may have also gone through some of this in terms of her own life. But yeah, man, it's just hard. Vince, I can't wait to hear what you got to say after you see it. I just want to see, what you think of it. You're muted.
Even after hearing everything I just heard, I still don't feel like it's been spoiled for me for some reason. So I still feel like I'll be able to. I mean, I feel like I'll be able to get at the bare minimum what it is that you're looking to, to convey. But yeah, that if I could just be like, holy fuck. As soon as I saw her face in the light, I was like, oh shit, like something happened to my body. I don't know if that was just me. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, it's Teyana. I mean, I got starstruck. I was starstruck. I literally got starstruck with, because at first, for the first couple seconds when she was all in the dark, I was like, oh, okay, like you don't want to admit you still like Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you didn't get the reference, remember they used to do the commercials with the I like Frosted Flakes, but so what, yes. And okay, all right, we gotta explain it longer funny, right? So,
that's it the same.
It's no longer, you should have been there. I guess you had to be there. But anyway, now so when she was in the dark, I was like, oh shit, man, this is Police Academy under siege. Is she gonna step into the light? And so as soon as her face came in, it was like, wow, it was like, yo, it's Teyana Taylor, and she looks phenomenal, and she found the right light, like she crept in through the light.
Yeah.
Like, oh
skin started glistening.
I'm not particularly enamored with Teyana Taylor for any reason other than her just being a beautiful black woman who's successful. So it's not like I got posters of her on my wall or ever fantasized about her or anything. It just was it was a literal like, and then the wall was there was never a wall. It felt she didn't go to you. She didn't enter this interview looking to duck your questions politically. You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping? No, maybe I am.
No. I mean, she came in ready to talk.
Even though she probably still didn't even say everything she really, really, really wanted to say, like there was a huge difference in what we saw with the first two at least with Regina Hall, than what we saw with and dare I say your approach was not much different in either. And it's just that her approach was so much more different and welcoming. It was just like it was almost as if seeing you was a relief, kind of like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Hey, she probably heard your accent, you know what I'm saying? And y'all, so that was dope for me, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like now, I just want to support her. Now when I get out this, I'm gonna get her album, whatever the last one was. It might have been years ago. I'm just gonna cop it just to support. And I don't know, But did you hear the thing that I took away? And you tell me if you found this to be interesting as well. And because I think you caught that toward the end, she said, "Look, man, you got to get in there to change things around." You know what I'm saying? It was almost an admission of guilt to an extent, like a mild admission of like, look, I get it. I tap danced. All right, a little. I get it a little bit, but mildly it happened. But I got to get in the room so we can let more people in, or we can start controlling the room. Now, whether or not we agree with that method or not, I felt like that was the coded message when she said, like,
I got from her that she found ways to relate with the character. That's what I got from her. Like, even though that, like, when you see her character and some of the things that she does, she talks about how she relates to that. And even with that, she knows who she is, right? She knows her platform. She knows the power of her voice. She's spoken on these types of topics in the past. So when I was talking to her about the betrayal of her character and how especially a Black woman would do that to her own child, she knew immediately what I was talking about. She's like, oh, we're talking about how Black women are portrayed in media. We don't normally do that. This is a new dynamic. This is a new paradigm. Let me speak on that. Let me talk about the things that happen that are unseen and unheard, like women's postpartum. Something that's a subtext of it, and that's something that I'm just now thinking about, is that Black women's pain gets ignored. Right, that's a major thing in society today. When Black women are the most vulnerable, at the in hospitals, when giving birth to children than any other race. Right, there's a higher fatality of Black women than any other woman. So I think she latched onto these topics about what's happening with people, and she's highlighting them as the subtext in the film. You'll notice, like, when I'm talking to either one of them, they both bring up this Christmas Adventurers, right? Christmas Adventurers. So just to kind of hint at it, the Christmas Adventurers is just a reflection of what's happening in society today, right? What we're seeing with the Trump regime, what we're seeing with authoritarianism around the world. Right. That's why I asked them, like, hey, when you guys filmed this was 2 years ago, right? This was before Trump was even in office. Like, Biden was still president. And you guys made a movie like this where you're freeing Americans who are locked up in cages. So like they were prepared to talk about that. They were ready to talk about that. They keep bringing that hint up, but she knew that this other thing is happening in the story as well. And it's going ignored the same way that they go ignored all throughout life. Black women constantly are the undervalued in society, even though they're the biggest proponents to our race and others.
Biggest, I mean, I would say damn near singularity component. If
singular, right?
Did you have a time?
So that's the crazy thing. So this was supposed to be like a 3 to 4 minute interview, right? So Teyana was like, so like that's why y'all see me like throughout the interview. I'm like, and then I'm like, all right, well, thank you for your time. And then she keeps going. Yes. So like this was supposed to be like a 3-4 minute interview. She's in her car. She's on her way somewhere. Right. She gave me more of her time than I was promised, and I was appreciative of that because she definitely looked like she was out in London about to go out with Aaron to some place exotic, right? Something with Aaron. Some of that Star Wars money.
Hey, so there wasn't nobody heckling you in the saying, yeah.
So yeah, they told me, all right, rap after this. So I was like, that's when I was like, thank you. But when she continued the conversation, they're never going to tell Teyana to stop.
So right, like trick, not the trick, but the I'd say the strategy is to try to get them in the mode to want to talk so much to where they have to be the ones that have to be rapped.
I mean, as an interviewer, that's one of the main things I always do. I always try to save what I consider my haymaker question for my last question. But this was just a gift of God. Like I was telling her 3 minutes before it ended, and she just decided to continue talking anyway. So that's why, like, at the end, I'm like, all right, thank you. I want to be back. I want to get invited again. Don't get me in trouble for this.
Yeah,
I get that. You could also tell, right, based on her responses, that she has heard some maybe discontent from people that she respects in terms of their opinions. Because one of the things that she said a multitude of times in that interview is, go see it again, which means that someone who's seen it has come and she's like, look, whoa, I know those are elements, but this is also what's going on behind the scenes that maybe you didn't. And then they go back and see it and they're like, oh, you know what? I think, you're right, and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that is one of the things that she's like Anthony said, the whole gripping for the idea of Black women not getting any attention or not having any help, or the postpartum aspects of it is, okay, this is why my character is important in terms of this. This is why, it may look this way from an optics perspective, but this is the part that you didn't acknowledge, and this is why this needs to be spotlighted. Is because a lot of people are missing this part. This is the part that's missing. So I do respect that, but again,
I can't wait to watch. Oh, please.
Her talking about the postpartum, it hit me a little bit harder than I expected it to. It is important to her story, to her character. I had a friend that actually took her own life because of postpartum. So this is a lot more. That is closer to me for this movie than I expected. This makes me want to. It's weird. It makes me want to go see it, see the perspective, see how it's delivered. Especially because it's not something that gets talked about after somebody has a baby. Still, we know about the term, we know about the word, we don't know why it happens, and I feel like it's hard for men to handle. You can have varying degrees of postpartum. You can have postpartum and you're just like, I don't really want to see the kid right now. I need a minute. You know what I mean? It varies so much depending on a myriad of different things. I have another friend who just came out of it. I don't know if she's honestly out of it, but is in therapy on meds in order to keep herself going. So to see this version of postpartum, literally just trying to survive, is an interesting aspect, and I kind of want to see how it's delivered in this movie. I'm hoping that it doesn't sound explained postpartum is, or what it looks like, or how it's handled. So I'm interested to see how it's translated in the film. That's to go see it, because give an actual better critique of it. Again, it just made me feel.
Okay, you're breaking up just a little bit on my end. I don't know. It might just be me, but it does. It feels temporary. It feels like one of the things that,
yeah, she is breaking up. It was.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries.
I knew you can refresh if you want. You can refresh if you want.
It looks like it's one of the things that's going to go away.
It'll probably fix itself in the upload, right? The local copy.
At the end. It'll probably be okay. It just asked for a couple of seconds, so at the very end of that, we kind of missed. So sorry about that.
No, that's all right. It's all right. I mean, I basically just said I'm interested in seeing how they, seeing if they explain how postpartum postpartum, what postpartum is for her.
No, they don't explain that. Like, nah, she explained it. They don't explain it at all.
Yeah.
Like they leave you with the notion of what Aunt described. Aunt described a black woman leaving her responsibility as a mother. All of that, they leave that open ended. They do not in any way justify or try to show you an example of why she's going. And you have to make that assumption or that assertion on your own, and that's why I think it was important to have her spotlighted, so that as a viewer you can go into it with this understanding of, okay, well, she's not just you know what I'm saying, and
She's not a turncoat,
and even hit her with the, your name, what your name means, and like what name means betrayal. She's like, oh, get off the name.
Yo,
that name is badass. Like, but yeah, they do not shed her. I just want to make it very clear, in terms of optics, they do not shed her in any good light. Period. There's nothing that they shed her in a good light. Am I wrong, Ed? Do you see anything that is a?
So here's the thing. Like, she also said something else, and it was real quick. She was like, "There's a lot of stuff that you guys don't see."
Yeah.
Right. So that to me right there, it felt like those were things that got cut. And she even mentioned it. She said it real quick. You guys don't see when Perfidia calls the French 75 and warns them.
Which was intentional.
I mean, like, that would have been when you see the movie, like, like, you understand, like, there was a lot of times where I expected her character to either change or show up, and that would have at least done a little bit more to change my views or my initial judgment of the character if I had seen her make that phone call. Like, that phone call would have been, because, like, the way that Black women are the keystone of Black culture in society. It doesn't work without Black women being the strong person in the household, being the mother, the father in a lot of households, and carrying the weight of responsibility of trying to make sure that we're treated more and more human every day. To have one in a movie on this scale of a platform with Leonardo freaking DiCaprio, one of the biggest stars on the planet, and have a Black woman abandon her family, have a Black woman betray her newborn child, I needed to understand, right? And that would have done a lot to help me just a little bit, right? Like, I at least called and warned them to save my child before, I just did my own thing.
Wow. Okay. I
hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
I hate that. I can't wait to provide my view of this, but I understand there's more from that first interview.
Yes. So I did talk a little bit more with Chase Infiniti and Regina Hall. And it's a different vibe of the interview, but it's still a fun interview. I wish I asked some scary movie questions, but
yeah. Because that version of Regina Hall is the entertainment one. This one is very
well. You don't know that one could be just her her role as the character she plays. A lot of these.
I've seen her in enough interviews to know better. I've seen her in like, Regina is a very very funny, very witty, but also like a very just chill person based off the interviews that I've seen her in. Yeah. And this one does not. Her energy seems completely distant from the version of Regina Hall that I've seen in a lot of interviews.
When I see Regina in a lot of interviews, she's cracking jokes. Like, everybody else is like, "All right, can we get back to being serious?" And she's like, "No." And she's like the life of the party at these events. So her energy, her vibe in this is very different to me. I felt it. But like I said, you know, I was asking them really hard questions, and she's trying to, you know, it's probably not the right question to ask in the spotlight for everyone. Like we all said, Teyana Taylor, Teyana gonna be all right? Tiana's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
exactly.
She has definitely, yeah.
But Regina and Chase Infiniti, again, this is Chase Infiniti's first film ever. Right. And she's starting off with Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Benicio del Toro. And I keep mentioning them because these are Academy Award winners.
Huge.
Right?
Huge.
Right? 3 of them in one movie, just cooking. Or from their perspective. It wasn't
how long? Like, it's been a long time since we've seen Sean Penn. Yo.
Yeah, Sean Penn has been busy in Ukraine. He's been doing his philanthropic efforts. He's been doing other things. He stepped away, but when he came back, I ain't even going front. I can't even Lockjaw. He's going to win awards for this.
Yeah,
he's winning awards for this.
He did his thing.
He did his thing. It's an incredible character, and I can't see anyone taking at least. I can't see him losing Best Supporting Actor.
Nah, I can't either. I'm with you on that one.
But yeah, let me go ahead and continue with the conversation I had with Regina and Chase.
Oh, I know that a lot of people have been talking about the politics, the revolution, you know, like the Leo of it all.
See, she's scratching her
what's
forehead.
One thing in the movie that you think audiences are not talking about enough that you want them to notice the next time they watch it?
That's a good question.
But they're not. I mean, I say it with whatever. With like, just really, real honesty. Everybody that seems to be talking about something different. I don't really know what everyone is talking about. I know people a lot. I
don't know if there's anything that people have missed. There's things that like through conversations and dialogue with other individuals, people will pick up on things that they missed. But overall, I feel like everybody's connecting to all the incredible parts of the story.
I do love that scene with Leo, though, when he's talking about history. He's like, you gotta teach it all.
Oh, and he's in the classroom.
And he's so funny. I mean, also Sensei's whole sense of, I think pride and helping, and in that world, I love that sense of community in the portion of the film that they have, that close knit kind of.
The full show on screen with Mirror Touch. Imagine your phone fully extended to your car. All you need to do is press and play.
This is random damn commercial, nigga.
Instant sync.
Somebody monetize. Come on, boy.
I know you know, they took care of one another, and I did love to see that.
Well, you mentioned how people are talking about all different parts of this movie. Some are talking about this, some are talking about that. Has there been any fan reactions or interpretations of either of your characters that genuinely surprised you?
They are so
I can't
uncomfortable.
stay surprised.
Look at the body language.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm always surprised when people ask me, did Deandra, did she rat? I've had a few people ask me, was I a rat? Was she a rat?
Were you?
No.
Yeah.
A little bit of energy.
All right, well, this one is for you. This one is for you. I want you to speak up now. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing. Ready?
All right. Now, I saw in other interviews that you talked about how you and Paul really workshopped Willa. Can you share one very specific memory you invented for her that really never appears in the movie, but maybe guided you as you played her? All right.
Is it audio off to y'all?
A little bit.
I don't know what that was. It sounded different.
It was like it had a jump.
Echo and a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Just so we can make sure don't nobody miss nothing. Yo, but I'm so glad that last question. I'm so glad they had they laughed. You know, that was good.
Yeah, that the audio issue might have been me. I have to. It's coming through my speaker. That's me. But yeah, I got a little bit of life out of them because they've been stiff as hell this whole interview.
Yo, the fact that she is literally every time Ant tries to get like our perspective, like from a black audience, because I see him, he's like, yo, like, and she's like, I don't know if I don't any of that.
Yeah.
From like,
well, I mean, I think that I mean one thing that Teyana said as well before we get to more of it is she was like, look, I gotta work. That she dropped that little gem in there. It was like real quick, but I don't know if you caught it. Like in there,
yeah.
She was like, yo, I gotta work, and that was the most authentic thing that she could say in all of the things that she said, because ultimately it comes down to, look, I'm trying to act and I need work. And sometimes you don't get to pick the perfect role. But this instance, I'm faced with the decision of either do I do this role, which I know it casts black women in a fucked up light, and try to explain it away, but I get to act with Benicio del Toro, Leonardo DiCaprio. I get all these accolades. I get to be in, what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Or do I fight the power and just let somebody else do it? You know what I'm saying? And then, at least from her end, I'm not trying to cape for the movie at all, because I ain't seen it. And as far as I stand with y'all. But from Teyana's standpoint, from her standpoint, it's a necessary. I want to call it an evil, but maybe a milestone, maybe a necessary step. Kind of like when. Oh, this is going to be a terrible analogy, but I'm going to say it anyway. All right. And so I regret it already, but I'm going to say it anyway. But it's kind of like when Django took up the mantle to be the slave owner before he freed the slaves. Okay. What? He had to pose off as he posed for a little bit undercover as the overseer before he killed off everybody.
I'm gonna tell you where that analogy is flawed, right? This is why
I admit that it's a bad one, and so I'm not even going to defend it. I take it from I guess I'm trying to find a parallel where
it's
not everybody's trying to fight the power.
A better one would be
I think they try to
Nat Turner.
Yeah.
It's a better example.
I think Anthony, me and you are on the same page. This is not that. This is personal growth. This is personal gain. But but what it does is it's not an uplifting thing to do. What you do is you set us back even more when you do stuff like this. Because when Hollywood directors know that they can have success, when they know that they can have success with these type of archetype movies and that type of archetype, then they continue to portray black women in those archetypes. So this is why I don't like it when we have a person like Teyana Taylor, who is I feel like enlightened and is aware. She's conscious of the things that she does. I think that, and I don't want to put too much on her as a black woman, but I also want it to be understood that there are so many women who have decided to go opposite of this idea and have had success within the industry. It may have taken a little longer, but they have still had success. When these things happen and these type of movies happen, and then you get the 98% on Rotten Tomato and the 10 out of 10 from IGN, that makes it a successful project. Then when that successful project gets then now as Hollywood does, and you know this to be true, whenever there's a project that's successful, everybody starts emulating that same project. They start to mimic the same thing. And then you start having black women on screen being portrayed in this light. And that is the part where I hate it. I hate it for her. I hate it for black women. I hate it for us. And I'm going to continue to hate it for us, because I do not feel like the way up is to go down. I do not feel like that. That is not it.
There's something else. I'm not going to dispute or say anything you're saying is wrong. I'm just going to say, in addition to that, or something that's also true, is that she's also in a situation where straight up she just got a huge platform to take her career in whatever direction she wants to go. But she's also not trying to bite the hand that fed her, right? Like this movie was written and directed by the same person. The person who hired her, Paul Thomas Anderson. This is a guy who's 55 years old, and he grew up watching the way Black women were portrayed in films in the 70s and 80s. And you can see his influences come out in his writing. When you start seeing his type of humor throughout the movie, the Christmas Adventurers Club, you see his Leo's character, basically a 60s or 70s stoner, right? He's basically the dude from The Big Lebowski. Like you see exactly the way that this person, I don't want to say that this is their beliefs, but this is the reflection of things that he saw coming out in his film. And it's something that the people who are the powers that be widely accept because they grew up with the same things. Now, I am the one who's in here debating with my peers, the ones who are giving this film a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm sitting there and I'm poking holes at the movie with them because they're seeing something that I think that I have the same guilt of seeing in Sinners. I see something I relate to. And because of that, I have an inherent bias towards it. Right? So a lot of my argument with them has been, hey, you guys are saying this is the best film of the year. This is the best film of the last 5 years, but you rated it lower than Sinners. You gave Sinners a higher score than One Battle After Another, but you're saying that this is the best film of the year. Make that make sense. And that's where I'm coming into this cognitive dissonance, and people are showing me that we have our own inherent biases.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Okay, let me do this. Let me go to a reliable.
Everything about them. I can't say it. I ain't gonna say it, but everything about them, yo.
Screams. Yes, Screams our current cabinet. Screams our current cabinet. Yeah. Yes.
When Homeboy went in that basement and and he opened that door.
I'm trying to find if she.
I'm like, is this shit real? Is this real? Is this
how
it really happens? Is this what they really
traits hereditary? Spoilers if you haven't seen One Battle After Another. Legacy and generational trauma are huge themes that we see throughout this film. Before we get into the core conflict of the film, we get to know Perfidia and the burden of the legacy that she has to uphold. Perfidia comes from a long line of revolutionaries, and it's clear that that legacy was instilled into her mind. And while Perfidia grew up around revolutionaries and probably heard revolutionary ideas, Paul Thomas Anderson also takes time to show that Perfidia grew up privileged. The house that Bob goes to visit when he's talking to her mother and her grandmother is very nice. It's huge and it's well put together. Perfidia grew up privileged and instead probably had to be told what the burdens of her generational trauma was. This is me interpreting her character, but I feel like the fact that Perfidia hasn't actually experienced these things, still is expected to become a leader, attributes to the way that she is. Perfidia craves freedom in every sense of the word because she's been told that she is entitled to it, which obviously we're all entitled to freedom, but I think she takes it to a bigger extent because she did grow up a little privileged. She does have something to prove as a revolution. People suffer because of it. While she's trying to figure out her place in the revolution and the trauma that's been passed down to her, not through experiences, but through word of mouth, everyone else suffers. The question that appears throughout the film is whether or not that trauma that Perfidia has and that carelessness and recklessness is passed down to Willa. Even Deandra is a bit cautious when she first interacts with Willa. We can see the anger in the way that she interacts with her when she finds out that Willa hid her phone. Are Perfidia's character traits hereditary? Is she just like her mother, a woman that she never met? And if they are, what does that mean for Lockjaw and his character traits? Perfidia's defiance and resourcefulness a product of who her parents were? I know a lot of people talk about generational trauma, but I am a firm believer that those things can be broken. I feel like Willa is an example of this, as there are obvious parallels between her and her mother, but it's clear throughout the film that Willa is a woman on her own, and it's her experiences and upbringing that makes her the woman that she is. This is galvanized from the stories that her father told her about her mother being a hero. Sensei Sergio tells her how to be patient and considerate. Everyone in her life and her experiences and her identity as a Black woman, that shapes who she is, not her genetics. You know what? That is something I subscribe to. I believe that there is generational trauma, but I think that's something that we bring down and we kind of share because systematic oppression is so prevalent in our country. I was so happy to see that Willa was her own individual, capable woman who didn't need assistance. Tell me, what do you think about generational trauma and how it was tackled in this film? You know,
I don't know if that went the way I thought it was going, but
yeah, I was wondering what the purpose behind that was.
Man, so just
a
listening
different
to
take.
it, she just I don't know. So my concern with Frankie, and it's not a problem, it's more of a concern, is that she works for Warner Brothers, right? She's a Warner Brothers talent who is hired to promote Warner Brothers projects. So I find it questionable if she's willing to publicly criticize a Warner Brothers project. Right. And just listening to this, it almost felt like she was trying to justify the way these characters are the way they are in this movie. So, you know, she said something like, oh, Willa's relation to the Black experience. At no point in this film did I feel like Willa is related to the Black experience at all. She's not trying to. It's not even it's not a topic of this film in any way, shape, or form. The only point that might be close is when she disappointed us. When a Black woman, I don't want to spoil it, but she disappoints us. It's like, all right, we gave you this, like we gave you the head nod, and you didn't nod back. Like something is wrong here.
I clearly have to see this. Did that? I guess that. I mean, there.
Yeah. There's a lot that, like, this is a dense movie. It's not a terrible movie. In fact, it's probably technically, not in story and everything, but technically it's an excellent movie. However, there are themes in there that we just have a fundamental problem with that makes me just look at the film in a bad light. Right? Like, and there's not enough good stuff in the film to make me overlook those things.
And that part. And I really think that's the most eye-opening part, is that there is not enough good content to override what you're seeing in terms of how they're projecting on this Black woman. You know, to Frankie's point, and also to Ann's point, like I think a lot of that is subjective in terms of how she looks at it from the terms of being an employee of the regime. So it's hard to kind of really criticize it, but to be assumptive in the fact that she's from wealth because she was they were in a bigger house, that's not even fair, because they have those Victorian homes in inner cities all across the so again, New York. Thank you. All across, and not all those people have money. So the idea that, oh, they had money because they went into a big house. Girl, please. They were both, her mother and her grandmother were both revolutionaries.
They might have been squatting, honestly, because at that time you don't know what was happening, right? Like, it didn't seem like there was a normal social economic structure still happening. You can't just go to the supermarket. It didn't feel like that was a thing.
If you remember correctly, this is another thing, right? That she didn't bring up during the movie. There's a potential individual part of the revolution who has money, who basically, if something happens, he'll move you to a whole nother space that's already there. So that could have been exactly what they. So that the assumptiveness that comes from that her review is just like, I don't know about if that's the case, but whatever. But yeah, this is definitely, Vince, a movie that I would definitely go check out just for the sake of your opinion on it. But yeah, I'm not of the 10 out of 10. I do support the all of the talent that they brought on. Like I said, to have Wood Harris, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio. I feel like I'm missing somebody else in that thing.
It's just funny you said him last, but Regina.
I know. Yeah.
Speaking of Regina, can we get? Is there much left of that interview?
Yeah, there's like another minute or so, minute or two, something like that.
All right, let's get to the end of that John right quick.
You threw me a curveball with the end of that question. I was okay. I know what's in the story that wasn't there from original versions, but there's things that you don't outwardly see or outwardly notice, but that come from those conversations with Paul. And I think also in tandem it goes with her karate training, because there's a certain level of how would you describe it? The way that she carries herself through her mixed martial arts and the way that presents itself throughout the film. That was something that we had talked about, and what aspects of that training in her life has carried on forward through the rest of the story. And you see that with how quick she is on her feet and how she can adapt to things at an insane pace. And that's also a mirror to her and Perfidia as well. But that's something that isn't outwardly said, but was a big point of conversation between the two of us.
Well, thank you both so much. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate the time that you guys put into this role in the craft. I bow down to both of you. Regina, oh man, so excited for you to see you on this platform. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
All right. Like, whatever, nigga.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. It was tight.
Sometimes it be like that, man. And I got that same energy when I was interviewing what's the name? Achilla from Spartacus. Like I was trying to get her to, like speak about, some of the things on and trying to word it in a way where I'm not like outwardly putting her, but man, when I tell you she was like, she had her shit set, she was like, nah, I'm not going that route. Nah, buddy. It's my first job. This is my first job in a while. You ain't fucking up. You ain't fucking up my job.
There is that out there. There is, I mean, we've experienced that. But the thing that I find the fun of the interview aspect that you've given us some access to, so thanks, and is the kind of the maze of it, the cat and mouse, the Rubik's cube of it, the how do I get what I want out of what is more than likely an obligation to them. This is an obligational media day. How do I squeeze in? That's kind of the fun part. I haven't had a very aggressive, cantankerous back and forth with anybody just yet. So hopefully that doesn't
fucking
happen.
word again.
Well, yeah.
I doubt you would though. Vince. Like I doubt you. I doubt it. I mean, like we present a certain way, and it's like regardless. You always present with you always lead with the comical aspect. You always lead with the joke, the making them joke and laugh and all of that, which is great for you as an interviewer because it puts people at ease. You're not like now. Ant's questions can either listen.
He was iced tea.
His questions it has one of two effects. Either you're excited that he asked it, or you're like, God damn, this nigga gonna make me work. Like, he gonna really make me work. Now I gotta think. I gotta use my brain. I didn't come here to use my brain. I had these questions already wrapped out in my head.
Ant was literally iced tea from New Jack City in that bitch. Like he was. They thought he was gonna pull up to just eat some lunch, and he was like, "Hey, I knew what you did last year, so tell me why you was in the refrigerator." And it was like, oh my god, like We just wanted you to, aren't you gonna say great job first? You ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah.
you assuming people ain't seeing the movie. Like, to them, you gotta remember, like, there's some of them that appropriately will come to this knowing that it's media. Then there's others that consider it promo, right? Promo is different from media, right? Mm-hmm. Promotion is meant to promote the good aspects of the movie to get people to want to come. If you're on a promotional tour, then nobody's supposed to be asking you why people should be coming to see it, because you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Everybody, we're here to promote the movie. Like, you're telling everybody to see it, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a weird way of looking at it.
No, that's a spot on thing. You know, I think a lot of talent looks at this event, and the goals of the day very differently. Like you said, they're looking to promote it. They're looking to talk about it from a positive light. And I have to admit, like, I worked on my questions to try to make them as close to positive as I could, while still touching on the subtopics that I wanted to touch on. Like, I came into this literally saying I need to talk about it from the Black perspective, because they're only giving me the Black people. Like, I wasn't offered to talk to Benicio. I wasn't offered to talk to Sean Penn. I wasn't offered to talk to Leo. I was offered to talk to Chase Infiniti, Regina, and Teyana. So I'm like, all right, well, if we're going to only be offered access to the Black talent, then understand what I do on my platform is I talk to things from the Black perspective. So let's talk about it, especially with this film, and having the same issues.
I don't usually make it a point to offer any notes to anybody else's style, but in this particular instance, you did say, "Hey, y'all, I want to have a little fun." And
I didn't have no fun.
First question,
there was no fun.
Why should anybody see this? Watching all the people that I'm hearing about that ain't gonna see the movie. Why should they see the movie?
Because here's the thing, and I had this conversation with a couple of people, right? Like, when I go to work, is not a lot of Black people there. It's not a whole lot of Black people there, right? But they all know that I'm a film critic, and I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, "Yo, have you seen one battle after another? Seen it, loved it, seen it, loved it." And then I go and I ask them, "Hey, have you seen the movie Sinners?" And they're like, "What's Sinners?" That's a movie?
Well, I mean,
and like, so, like, when I have that conversation, I'm having it from the understanding that some people honestly have blind spots, right? Especially especially when weeks after the movie came out, more Black people I know have not seen it than white people.
I left the conversation.
You said more people have more white people have seen what? A battle of.
So more white people I know have seen one battle after another than more Black people. And more Black people are all like, I don't know if I should see it. I don't know if it's something I want to see. And, like, I'm not saying we Leo's invited to the cookout, but we usually give him a chance. I don't think anybody generally has a problem with Leo to the point where we're like, we wouldn't see his movies.
I don't know if we really give him a chance, because think about it. Leo hasn't been doing movies in ages. I think the last time we saw Leo was Catch Me If You Can. I think.
That we saw him in.
Like that. Well, that's what in terms of what I'm saying is that Leo had a classic movie in Titanic. We all know Leo from the classic movie Titanic. It was a movie that everyone appreciated on both sides of the fence. We acknowledge that it was a good movie. But in terms of Leo's career, what I'm saying is, unless you're a Leo DiCaprio fan, you don't know all of the Catch Me If You Cans, the Shutter Islands, you know what I'm saying? You're not unless you are following Leo, and the same thing goes for Benicio del Toro. Unless you're a fan of Benicio del Toro, you don't know all of the movies that Benicio.
So hold on. There's a big difference between Leo and Benicio, though, right? Leo is I don't want to say he's an icon status, but he is one of the biggest stars of our generation, right? Like, there's no question about it. he is a brand in and of himself. That's why he commands 20-30 million dollars a movie plus residuals. It's because people are coming to see Leo 9 times out of 10. And it's because, like you said, his filmography was strong. He had Titanic. He did Inception. He did do The Wolf of Wall Street. He did do Catch Me If You Can. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django Unchained. And like, because of all those films, Leo is one of those people where I think people see the movie for him before they even know what the movie's about. Like he's to some people like what Schwarzenegger was to the 80s. Like you don't need a story. He's got a new movie. So Leo, I mean, like with this movie, I think a lot of there's a lot of expectation that people are going to come into it just for him as well. That's why his face is all over the poster, and it's got like some weird name that doesn't really describe what the movie's about. One battle after, like that's not really appealing, right? Titanic, you know what the movie's about. Catch Me If You Can, you know what the movie's. You got an idea. Inception, same thing. It's like you're literally relying on Leo to be what gets butts in seats with this film. And it didn't work. It didn't work to the extent that they wanted it to. I don't think it made as much money as they wanted it to make.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make as much money as it'll get recognized as it is already on IGN and Rotten Tomatoes and all of those kind of platforms. But these type of movies, like I said, usually do become recognized in terms of the content. But I think that the allure behind Leonardo DiCaprio is not the same as it was when he was doing the movies that you named before. And I just because it's a different generation. It's a different generation.
He also had some duds. Ain't nobody see Killers. Who saw Killers of the Flower Moon?
I did, and that wasn't.
You did?
Dud. I did, and it wasn't a dud. It was actually
okay.
I forgot about that one. That was actually a really good one.
I didn't like. What about Don't Look Up?
Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up was good too. Ooh.
You like Don't Look Up?
Don't Look Up was funny. It wasn't intended to be like a thing, but it was good.
You know what? Yeah. I think you a DiCaprio fan.
I might
like, wait a minute. Yeah, you seeing all the movies.
I'm a movie buff, so I watch anything that comes out that has any type of. But now that you mentioned those, because I had totally forgot about them. They were both good, and Killers of the Flower Moon, I believe, won some awards. Yeah, I think they won.
He didn't win one.
He didn't win one, but I think it won awards. For sure, it was definitely nominated. If nothing else. But yeah, man.
What was the other thing? Oh well, we ain't gotta go on that. Oh damn! Nah, you can't help me. You can't help me with that either. And you didn't watch Star Trek, right?
Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager.
Okay, you did.
Are you about to do another Deep Space Nine deep dive?
I'm not gonna do a deep dive. I just want him to maybe help me clarify which one of these two captains or officers, or what you want to call them, do you think were better?
On two different things. It depends on two different things, because Picard was in situations that Captain Sisko wasn't, right? Like he had to deal with constantly going into new environments, whereas Sisko had to react to things coming to him. It was just a little bit different. He didn't have to deal with things that he was unfamiliar with. He just, it was just like, oh, these niggas is coming. Like, it wasn't the same kind of thing.
All right.
So Picard accomplished more, but I think I saw myself as Sisko more. But Picard accomplished more, right? He actually we actually have a time loop because of him, right? Like they did levels of things with Picard that you don't really see Sisko do. But I see myself more with Sisko.
He's cleverly dodging the question. Sir, I asked you a direct question, sir. Which one of these motherfucking goddamn
depends on two things. Two things have to be present in order for me to make the decision. Those things are present right now, so I'm just gonna hold to my belief that this goes like me.
Very, very clever. Nice bunch of words, sir. He's like, yeah, one didn't do that. He did, but you, I did about this, but you was a better. Nah, man. Choose.
Nah, they're basically the same. They're basically even. It's basically a tie with them because.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't say one person really outdid the other. Honestly.
Okay.
Cisco had to deal. Nah, it's a tie.
Oh, a tie.
Oh my God.
Wow.
If you would have asked me who was better than Janeway, I would have
been. A tie. You said.
Come on, man.
It's a tie.
Look, Ant leads off. Ant's lead off is, well, Picard accomplished more than they're basically the same.
Because Picard became a Borg and came back, right? He was Locutus and he came back.
Exactly.
Oh, y'all in the goddamn Locutus. Okay,
Cisco left and came back too. But Cisco left and came back too. So that's why I'm like, Picard had to deal with Q. So did Cisco.
Thank you.
Picard had to deal with the Klingon, but so did Cisco.
Exactly.
But Cisco had to deal with the Ferengi. And Picard didn't really have time for them niggas.
Look,
come on.
This is my deciding factor, and I don't know if this might sway you. But when the most terrorizing race comes along and they're fucking everybody up and they decide that we need more than what we got, and they go and they pick up Mr. Jean-Luc Picard to become their leader. Y'all didn't say
whatever.
They didn't say we need to go get Cisco to be our leader. They went and picked up Jean-Luc Picard to become their leader because why? He was the most formidable opponent they had ever encountered.
Yeah,
that to me is the straw that breaks the camel's back. If the most terrorizing race, which was the Borg at the time, come along and they already are terrorizing shit, but they say, hold up, we never met nobody in the likes of you, so much so that we're gonna come and get you off of your ship, take you to our ship, put all of the gadgets and batteries in your back, and now you are the leader of the hive mind. You can't. It's no arguing that.
Well, but this Borg never really showed up in Deep Space Nine, right? Like he never had to deal with them. They never saw Captain Cisco.
No, they killed his. They killed his
wife.
Yeah.
That was like the first episode.
But throughout the show, he didn't really deal with them. Like they never battled with each other. We didn't get to see him use tactics against them. He's on a space station, right? Like he's not on a ship where he gets to exercise that or show off his tactical skill as a leader. If he has them in that way, that's why I'm like, I can't really compare them because they're different types of captives. Like that's why I was like, if you said Janeway versus Picard, it's different because she also was an explorer, right? That's what she did.
Hence, my friend, why Benjamin Cisco is the better of the two.
He knew to stay his ass at home.
No, because he had to manage not just the Federation that are on his ship that are all sworn allegiance to him, but also whoever the fuck pulls up to the port, whoever the fuck the Federation hires, whoever the fuck makes peace. And he's at the edge of a wormhole that gives way to a whole side of the galaxy that they have no idea. They're guarding it by themselves with the help of a planet that was just freed. And I want to dispel a misnomer. Cisco did have to captain multiple ships, not just the Enterprise, but the Defiant and the 2 other ships that they call runabouts that they use to go anywhere because they can't just beam anywhere because they have to transport there and then beam from there. And the Defiant they got from the Federation is one of the only Federation ships that has a cloaking device. So he not only knows how to strategize, but strategize like a Klingon of one he has on his bridge that he got from the Enterprise.
So he got leftovers.
Where you going? Okay.
All I'm gonna say is Picard got his. All I'm gonna say is Picard got his own statue. Does Cisco have his own statue?
Yes. No. Not only did Cisco have a statue, Cisco has a whole race of people that
think he's a god,
worship him because he's the emissary. He is a religious figure because he made contact with the prophets. They call them the prophets, but they're the actual aliens that are non-linear.
Well,
you gotta go back and watch it.
I'm talking about Starfleet. I'm talking about within the organization in which both of these people work.
All right. Well,
hold up, time out. Because the question was which one of these captains,
and the answer was yes.
Hold up. Well, the question was which one of these captains are better in terms of where they work at for Starfleet. Starfleet, not only did Captain Picard reach the rank of Admiral Picard, but he also has a statue in front of Starfleet because he was the most, and you know this from Picard, watching the show Picard, that he had a statue and was named one of the greatest to ever do it. Listen. I'm just putting it up there.
I understand your yearning to put Picard on a pedestal. I get it.
Saying.
I mean, he was a good captain, and he put us on. But I'm here to tell you, I was once a Picardian. I am now Cisconian. After my recent listen, it's not even close. It's not even close.
Oh,
it's not even close. It's not even remotely close.
And you know Cisco's not even a better captain than Pike. He's not even a better captain than Pike.
No,
Pike is better captain than Cisco.
No.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
No, you're discrediting all that Cisco. Cisco is more Kirkonian than he is Picardian, because Cisco has beat up the likes of Klingons and Jem'Hadar with hand-to-hand combat. I haven't seen Picard win in hand-to-hand combat too much, unless you want to, refresh any of my memories. Kirk beat the shit out of the Gorn. Kirk beat the shit out of some motherfuckers, but Picard is a phaser firing, technique capture.
You talking about young Kirk?
Kirk and also, even when Kirk was doing the movies, he was fighting hand-to-hand combat. In the Final Frontier.
What are you talking about?
Even as an old ass man.
He never fought the Gorn.
Yes, he did. There's a famous scene. It don't look the Gorn like us, like the ones that you see on the Strange Worlds. But there's a famous scene where that green, that's a Gorn. That's a Gorn.
Okay.
So Kirk fights,
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, like Picard will make the best wine you can get off his vineyard, and he will wine it down your wife on Risa to death, and he'll talk slick and he'll get that treaty signed. But Cisco will listen, nigga. I just watched Cisco poison a whole planet.
And I'm gonna tell you something. You have not.
Cisco poisoned a whole planet,
bro,
because the dude
have not made the post yet. Because you're afraid what the comment section is going to do to you when
hell no. I welcome the
post and ask everybody out there who is the best captain.
Yes, this is happening.
Cisco.
This definitely happening.
Will not get it will be such a
landslide. Nah, you wildin'. Nah, bro, you tripping. Nah, you wildin'. You wildin'. You are brainwashed. You're stuck in a romantic period in which TNG ruled over all. But the fact of the matter is, Deep Space Nine can hold multiple enterprises. So Cisco is himself, man.
Cisco,
Cisco is listen. I like Picard, and before I rewatched this, especially looking at it from the perspective of, and it makes it even more. Just the fact that they started off the whole thing is like, if just ask yourself, if Cisco was removed from Deep Space Nine by the Borg. All right, I ain't gonna make this argument because I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not gonna let him just get reinstated as admiral. Like he's still a Borg.
Daycare school.
He's still a Borg.
He runs a daycare. He runs a daycare. You're trying to tell me that the daycare teacher is better than?
Oh my God! Wow! It was owned by the Cardassians, as you like to call them, and now it's not even a Federation vessel. It's Bajoran. The Federation is just there to keep the everybody from the Cardassians from trying to enslave the Bajoran. So at all points in time, he got to have his eyes on his back, and he's raising his son single on that same ship. So yeah, man, yeah. Cisco for me. But I would love to hear. I am curious if this is a me and you thing, because I think you would lose this.
No, I'm telling you right now. Make the post, and you're gonna see that Captain Jean-Luc Picard is renowned as the best captain, and I would say, and I would argue, second place right now would go to my man Pike from Strange New Worlds. I'm telling you, like Pike had slid up in there. Pike, first of all, Pike cooks. Pike is like the Pike. Look.
He's a good captain.
Bro, so
Cisco's dad owns a restaurant in New Orleans.
Hey.
He's from New Orleans.
Man, I ain't seen that nigga put no gumbo up on.
We'll watch it again. We'll watch it again. Watch it again. Because he ran the whole restaurant.
You may have an argument.
Come on.
Okay, but all right. So where do you put Michael Burnham on your list?
I can't. She's not a captain.
She was,
but she got demoted.
She made it.
She's not a captain.
Well, she rose in the ranks toward the end again as captain.
Still not a captain.
Wow.
She still got demoted from captain.
Are you talking about in the very beginning? Or are you talking about?
I'm telling you that throughout the storyline of Burnham, she got demoted. Whether it was the last season or the season before, she was demoted from captain because she chose to not follow a direct command.
No. Okay. Let me be clear. You speak truths, but just in the wrong context. She was never captain at that point in time when she was on the bridge with Giorgio, all right, who was the captain. Remember? And she was insubordinate. Giorgio, who played by what's her name from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, you're wrong.
I'm 100% right.
Google it. Saru was captain.
No.
Saru had, listen to me for a second. Saru had got promoted to captain when she and she went against a direct thing from whoever the dude was that ran that space station. He was like the head guy. He was like the Hispanic guy dude. He was like a chancellor or something like that. Mm-hmm. He had given her a command not to go and get on the ship. I don't remember specifically. It's been a minute, but to go out on a ship and do something. She went and did it. She came back. Saru knew that what she was doing, but she wound up getting demoted. And you said Giorgio wasn't even there. Giorgio had left the season prior when she went to that planet. So the season I'm talking about, Giorgio wasn't even there.
Okay.
And she wasn't the captain. Giorgio worked for Section 8, Section whatever.
31. But
Section
no.
31. She wore the black uniforms by then.
No.
Giorgio wasn't the captain.
Giorgio was the captain. All right. And then they wound up in an alternate universe where they met her Terran version of her. and that version of her was in charge as well. But yeah, that was the ultimate issue. Michael Burnham knocked her captain out and assumed order. She called her to the quarters and knocked her out, and assumed, and she went about to do what she was going to do for the planet. And then the captain came out of her unconsciousness right before what happened, and they court-martialed Burnham. That's when she had to go to like a work colony or something like that. That was the very first few episodes of the series. As the series went along, she started to work her way up back again. So she got back into the bridge, worked her way back up to number 1, and then eventually she had worked herself back up to the name of captain. And at one point in time, Saru, as you know, what was the captain, but he decided to forego the position of captain to pursue his love of the Vulcan, who was on the on that council or whatever, and he ended up not even working with the Enterprise anymore. Excuse me.
Listen. Okay. All right. So I knew what I was talking about, man. So you're right. She never was a captain. First of all, that's number 1. But she was demoted from her position as first officer to chief. Exactly, and I know what I was talking about. That's why I don't be.
She became captain later. She did
listen, everything. Let me finish because I have it right in front of me. Michael Burnham was demoted in season 3, episode 6, Scavengers. She was demoted from her position as first officer to chief science officer for going on an unsanctioned mission against her orders from Captain Saru. I knew what the fuck I was talking about, bro.
I said. Bro, what? I said Saru was captain before that, but Saru left his post and he pursued his love. I just said it. We can watch the captain.
Bro, I'm gonna go back what you just said. You said the captain was Giorgio. This happened
at the very beginning. At the very beginning, in the first few episodes. In the first few episodes, yes, the very first 2 episodes, yes.
So what I'm saying is, she was never captain.
She was captain. Michael Burnham absolutely became captain. There was an episode where they celebrated her becoming captain. You could just hey Siri, was Michael Burnham ever captain of the Discovery ship?
Michael Burnham became captain of Discovery at the end of the 3rd season. This answer is from Wikipedia.
At the end of the third season, the same season that she got demoted.
Because old boy left his post. He went to go pursue his love with that Vulcan chick. I'm trying to tell you. So she was actually captain. She was captain when Book came on board.
Okay, so did she end the series as a captain?
Yes.
So what? So you're asking me where I would rank Burnham?
Nah. All that barking you just did. Am I right?
I didn't think that she was a captain. I didn't think she was a captain. Yeah, I didn't think she was.
She was captain, right?
Okay, so she was captain. You were right.
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, do I rank her? Where would I rank her? Was that the original question?
Yeah, that was the original question. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess you can't really rank her if you haven't been thinking of her as a captain this whole time anyway. So
even after knowing she's a captain, I wouldn't rank her high on the list of captains.
And that's fair. I'm gonna say that's fair because I feel like the bulk of her dopest accomplishments happened before she got the seat. If I'm being honest.
Yeah,
the red angel.
The Red Angel.
Oh my God, yo!
Yes,
the Red Angel.
That was the best.
That was it. That was
the best season, honestly.
It literally was. Like, and it's such a new, fresh concept. Like when you talk about Star Trek, the dope part about rewatching it is learning like how infinite the number of stories you can tell with this concept is. And I don't just mean like the world you can go to and just the concepts. Like they just had it. I just watched this episode and I didn't see this. I think I did see this one as a child, but again, I just didn't look at it. I just a fresh set of adult eyes. They just had an episode where I just watched an episode. I shouldn't say they just had, but an episode where Cisco and the main cast members, O'Brien, Worf, Dax, they went to this. They were going to this planet. They were going home from this mission or whatever. And on the way, Dax was like, "Oh, there's this shit on this planet real quick on the way there. Let me stop there real quick." And Cisco was like, "No, don't do that." She was like, "No, just take real quick." She's like, "All right, fine." They go down, and then as they go through the atmosphere, they fuck around and go forward in time and meet all of their descendants, because it turns out they crash land on this planet, and 200 years later, 8,000 people, all of which are named like Cisco, Dax, you know what I'm saying? And they look, and they're all the descendants of this people, but they're still there. They said the reason they're there is because they crashed there and they never went back. But now Cisco still got his kid at home. They still got their people on the ship. So they're like, okay, do we go back in time? If we do, then 8,000 people cease to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, that concept is crazy. That's crazy. That's a 60-minute episode of that, you know, and 7 seasons of 30 episode seasons of episodes like that is nuts. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about the Red Angel concept, this is after Discovery, after Enterprise, after DS. They still found another way to keep it fresh. A suit that goes through time and space. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's all. That is Star Trek, right? That is Star Trek. That's what makes it great, because when you watch any of the series, they deal with things like this throughout the series. Like the Voyager crew has dealt with stuff that is really meta and trippy as far as time travel and you crossing on, and so is the Next Generation. They would do that more often, I would argue. So I can't, you know, just because I'm not trying to dismiss what you're saying to make these characters great, but I think that's more in and of itself the DNA of Star Trek. This is what they do with whoever the characters and the captains are, and that's a testament to the writers for coming up with it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, we can wrap this up, man. I just think that on the way out, that after hearing everything that we've heard today, especially about the way that, you know, Black women are depicted, or just Black people in general, seeing the overwhelming way I feel that they took care of Cisco in the way that they depicted this captain, you know, you go back and you're proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a fully Black man. They never try to make him anything other than that, and he's just dedicated to his biz. But we'll see. We'll see.
He did it first, man. I will say that about Cisco. He was our first. He wasn't the first Black president, but he was the first Black Starfleet commander. You know what I'm saying? And he lived up to the top billing. Because I don't want to take anything away from Cisco. I think he was extraordinary in his role. I just think when you start putting him opposite of Jean-Luc Picard and that series, which we will all know forevermore as the Next Generation, is still gonna be in the heads of a lot of Trekkies the best Star Trek series with the best captain that ever step foot into an Enterprise spaceship.
I'll let you know after I rewatch TNG. I'm rewatching all Star Trek. I'm even gonna watch Enterprise, which I sort of never do. So I'll let you know, and I will provide analysis. And I'm doing short little videos on what I discover as I keep watching this. But anyway, thank you for pulling up, man. As we always say, be your authentic self. If you ain't being yourself, you're being fake. And all things, you a geek, let that geek flag fly.
This is one of the greatest podcasts, and you know what? Fuck that. These guys are fucking awesome. They my niggas to the end of time.
That's the one I ain't posted. I'm about to edit
that shit, man. Hey, man, listen, I'm about to